Hello, everyone. Good morning again, or whatever day, whatever time you watch our lecture. So today, I thank you again for being here, for showing up again to do certain tasks in order to understand yourself. Today, we will be talking about a continuation of our lecture on the physical self, and it's entitled The Beautiful Me. Okay? Today, at the end of this module, you'll be able to determine the condition of your physical self, to classify the physiological needs of yourselves in each stage of life, and lastly, to explain the importance of having good health. Okay, so let's dive in. So, what are the factors that in the in the development of the physical self? So basically, the ones that I will just give you is a very brief summary of what you have already seen in our movie, The Miracle of Life. So, but please do take note of all those things that we have seen, and um, personally, I really found that movie really fascinating. Okay, I hope you are also fascinated by how humans are created, no? How intrinsic, how how it is na very it's very detailed, it's very sophisticated, just to create one human being, and that human being is you, right? It's so amazing, and knowing all that process, diba? Parang it gives us a glimpse of some kind of there must be someone bigger, diba? That is that is the motivation of all of this, right? It's just so amazing to look into this kind of process of reproduction. Okay, so as we have seen, different factors that affects our development of our physical selves includes heredity and also environment. So when we say heredity, it's the transmission of the traits or characteristics from parents to offspring. Okay, so it's more, these are very self-explanatory, right? And of course, as time goes by, there are different forces and experiences that makes up us. So it happens, it this also has impacts from any stage of life that we are in. All right? So at the beginning of life, we know that fertilization happens when the female and male sex cell meets. And of course, those sex cells came from the gonads. So these are our reproductive organs. And the male gonad is a testis where the spermatozoa, the sperms, are produced. Meanwhile, for the women, in the ovaries, the ova is produced. And when these two cells um, already is as one, diba, na fertilized na, it is now what we call the zygote, and it consists, or it has, the hereditary traits, potentials of both of our parents. And of course, inside this fertilized cell, we have there the small particles in a string-like formation, which is what we call the genes. It carries all the hereditary characteristics of our parents. And in this gene, we have there the DNA, or the deoxyribonucleic Code of Heredity, and it contains information and instructions about the newly about us, right? Yes, everything. And as these traits unfold, it is what we call maturation. Okay, so now I hope we already have these inherent traits, right, that we have seen earlier in our activity. All right, so in the developmental stages, we have here the different ages uh, during the lifespan. And of course, there are different things that happens physiologically during different stages of life. And all of this will be discussed further in your developmental psychology class. However, for this, we just uh, brush through the surface of the different lifespan. So there are, as we can see from conception to birth, there are rapid changes. We have seen this in the movie Miracle of Life. During infancy until babyhood until childhood, there is a rapid change as well. So yes. However, when it comes to late childhood to until the end, medyo hindi na masyadong rapid changes that happens. But still, um, there are several things that remain that remain to be our needs so that we can take care more of ourselves. So one of which is having a balanced diet, water, and sleep. So we should consume the right amount and the right portion of food. And also, this food must have nutrients essential for our growth and survival. All right, so here in this table, we have here different amounts of servings or the food nutrients that we should get. All right, so as we can see here, majority should be from protein and also from vegetables, the vitamins and minerals. Then a quarter, kumbaga kung meron tayong, yeah, yeah, a lesser part of it is the carbohydrates and then very little fats. Okay, so please take note of this. Also, so that we will all be guided. All right. Of course, 8 glasses of water daily. It is necessary because it also helps us in because majority of our body is composed of water, so there's a big need for us to nourish ourselves with water. Okay, so we won't consider caffeine, tea, and others as part of it. So parang additional sila because even though they have water content in there, but may add on kasi like caffeine and other things or sugar or something like that. All right. Of course, sleep is also needed so that our body will recover, our muscles, or many parts of us. Okay, so we should have 8 or more hours of sleep. So part of the research, part of certain researches is having 8 to 9 hours of sleep daily. That's the optimum. All right, and all of these three are essential to in our health because if much more that you are in a helping professional in a helping profession, much more that you have to take note of all of this because part of helping other people is to first look into how they are doing physically and their physiological selves. because many of things, for example, like stress, it's aggravated because there's lack of sleep, for example, or the nutrition also um, will have an impact. For example, if a person lacks ano ba um, wait lang, I'm thinking of an example na pwede kasi I can remember, yeah, taking supplements, for example. For those people who have depression, they're also given B vitamins so that um, their mood will also be changed. And of course, exercise is part of this. It's not mentioned in the book. So the happy hormones are released, diba, when we do exercise. If we have good sleep, sometimes all the worries or all the things that we undergo, we just need to sleep to have a clearer mind. Because nga, one of the studies in biological psychology, just a quick example to you, nasa biological psychology, there were two set of people or an experiment na kung saan people who have lack of sleep and those who have good sleep. So the higher order thinking skills of those who have slept are better. In the higher order thinking skills, this includes critical thinking, decision making. So uh, they're more okay than those who have lack of sleep. So it's quite important, no? It's quite important because nga, even though naman kaya pa rin nilang gumawa, for example, they have an all-nighter, kaya pa rin nilang gumawa, but still, there's significant na changes also, like on the attention span. Tapos palaging hinihikap, diba? Tapos palaging sleepy. So it has a lot of impact on that end. So it's necessary for prolonged attention, stuff like that. What else? Of course, nutrition. No, um, this is an important mention. So part of this is yung, for example, the lack of parang if the Korsakoff syndrome, so alcohol naman. For those alcoholics, no, they have a deficiency. Tapos a specific part in the brain is affected, no? Yeah, specific part of the brain is thiamine deficiency. Ayun, ayun. So parang kalimutan ko. Basta yun, the Korsakoff syndrome, it has a specific impact to the brain. So yeah, so that's the first thing, no? Um, this is very relevant, not only for like parang this is one of the pillars, kumbaga, that we take in consideration when it comes to not only of knowing ourselves, but since you are to a certain extent you are in this track or you are in the path of being a helping professional. So it's necessary that you also take care of yourself so that you can take care of others, right? So this kind of awareness that you have, and when you apply this in your own life, you can also impact other people because they see this in you. Okay, so that's it. All right, so now let's go to a small group discussion. So first, um, we will go to our breakup rooms. Okay, so we'll go to Zoom. Tapos, we'll break up into groups. So here are the habits that contribute. Yours contribute to a healthy living. Tapos you talk about your answers about regarding this. Tapos, are there things that you consider unhealthy but you cannot stop yourself from doing? Give some examples. And what do you plan to do to become physically fit? And then right now, after like 15 minutes, no, there will be people to represent each group. So you will share among yourself first and then share to the big group of the answers of your classmates. Okay, so right now, we already ended the module and we determined the condition of the physical self, then classify the physiological needs of the self in each stage of life, and explain the importance of good health. All right, so thank you very much for your attention.